Of course I could wait.
Very grateful to the Leader for giving way. What happened a couple of weeks ago was an extraordinary failure of moral leadership. And I think it's given rise in the minds of many to serious questions for the first time about the character of this government. With hindsight, why did he and his right honourable friends not recognise the brazen wrongdoing of their colleague?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I think the simple answer. No, I think the honourable gentleman's heckle is unfair and unkind. I think it was simply the tragedy that afflicted Mr. Patterson coloured and clouded our judgment and my judgment incorrectly. And it is as simple and as sad as that. The backbench amendment we supported was intended to facilitate the exploration on a cross-party basis of a standards system with a time-limited ad hoc committee. However, I regret that the amendment conflated an individual case with more general concerns. That was a mistake.
Mr. Speaker, standards matter. Scrutiny matters. An independent system of holding everyone in public life to account matters. Standards should not be seen or treated as an irksome bother that you get your mates to change when you're found out. It should not be seen as something to be feared or something to be treated with such disdain, frankly incompetence and a total absence of leadership as we've seen from this sorry government over this sorry affair. Mr. Speaker, to anyone who really loves democracy, standards are the bedrock of everything we do, everything. Once more, it seems I have to remind the right honourable gentleman that they are, the Nolan principles are, selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and finally, leadership. Mr. Speaker, how have we got to the point where the Prime Minister has to clarify that the UK is not a corrupt country? How did we get here? How did we get here?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope that this is going to be the last opportunity for this House to do the right thing and accept the report of the Committee on Standards on Owen Paterson. And I trust that no member of this House is thinking of doing anything other than supporting the motion that has been moved by my right honourable friend, the Leader of the House. Passing this motion will be a step in the right direction, but it will not undo the damage that has been done by the vote of the 3rd of November. And let's be clear, this is not a party political issue. Damage has been done to all members of Parliament and to Parliament as a whole. I read the report of the Committee on Standards into Owen Paterson. I believe the conclusion was clear and fair. Owen Paterson broke the rules on paid advocacy. And the attempt by right honourable and honourable members of this House, aided and abetted by the government, under cover of reform of the process, effectively to clear his name, was misplaced, ill-judged and just plain wrong. Now, I hope the honourable gentleman will forgive me if I take no interventions. I wish to make my limited points. In this place, we set rules for people through the laws that we pass. We expect people to obey those rules. We also set rules for our own behaviour as members of Parliament, and we have a right to expect each and every one of us to obey those rules. Now, sometimes mistakes will be made inadvertently, but the process of independent investigation and a committee set up by this House with lay members should be able to differentiate those cases and to deal with them. Now, it's been suggested that, as a result of what happened on the 3rd of November, the rules need to change. And I do hope that the government will be looking urgently and seriously at the 2018 proposals from the Committee on Standards in Public Life. I don't think they quite reflect the motion that the opposition is putting to the House tomorrow, but they do suggest the clarification of the rules and the tightening up of the rules on MPs' outside interests. But it would be a mistake to think that because someone broke the rules were wrong. The rule on paid advocacy is a long-standing one. The problem came because there was an attempt to effectively let off a then member of the House. And that flew in the face of the rules on paid advocacy and in the face of the processes established by this House.